Right now, the levees are being rebuilt. But if it's hurricane season and there's no levees, what's going to protect them?
If people work around the clock to redo the levee, it would take about 2 years.
Wow, that's a long time. And meanwhile, people who are coming back have to deal with the threat of a hurricane over their heads. Who's going to want to rebuild?
The thing now is some of the richer people can take the risk of coming back and putting money into their home. But the poor people, with this part that we're going to drive by, we have no electricity. So if we drove by here at night, it's kind of ghost town.
Well, needless to say, New Orleans has a lot on its plate right now. But that's why we all need to do our part and help out. Another New Orleans local I got to interview was Yvonne, a nice lady who lived across the hall from us. She told us her Katrina story, and why she had decided to come back.
Oh, did your house get hit by the hurricane?
Yes, it did.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Evacuated before. You know, we went to my daughter's house across the lake in Madisonville, and we really had intentions of going back because we left 3 cars there.
Yeah.
You know, because we just didn't think that that day of the storm when we had a little portable radio, and, you know, people they were listening to it. They're saying the entire St. Bernard Parish was flooded. I said, oh, they have to be mistaken. That can't be. The whole St. Bernard Parish can't possibly be flooded. And it was just unbelievable. It got flooded from the ceiling all the way up. I mean, from the floor all the way to the ceiling. And everything in it got ruined. You know, everything was flooded and smashed and topsy-turvy. We didn't get back in to even look at our houses until the last week of September. So I mean, that was a whole month that it sat in water. You know, because after Katrina, we were supposed to go back the week before, and then Hurricane Rita came and hit us again. So we got a double whammy with Hurricane Rita.
What do you think was one of the hardest things to lose?
Pictures. I have here, I can show you. This is what I've salvaged from. This is what I've salvaged from pictures that I'm making collages of.
Aww.
All of these at one time were 4 by 6 pictures. So that's the thing, that you can't replace those things, you know. But I'd rather have my old stuff back, you know.
Yeah.
I think it would be a very sad thing if New Orleans would not be rebuilt, you know, because I mean New Orleans was here before the Declaration of Independence was even signed, you know. I mean New Orleans was a city, you know, and just this special feeling of living in New Orleans, you know, it really is. I mean, my 2 children that were affected by the storm too. Mama, why do you want to rebuild the house? Why don't you just come live with us? I don't want to do that. I want to feel why put all that money into a place that's below sea level? Well, I mean, the same thing is why put money out in California when an earthquake can wipe out, you know, take it off the face of the earth, you know? And so, I mean, this is home. And this is, I mean, I was born and raised here in New Orleans, you know?
If you could tell, like, everybody in the United States something about, like, New Orleans or its state right now, like, what would you tell everybody?
I would tell everybody to encourage their senators and congressmen to approve what's needed to rebuild our lives down here. So I just want to ask you all to just pass the word on to everybody you know that we need help down here. You know, I mean, when I talked to somebody in San Antonio, I had a call from work, and the person I'm talking, you all must be, you know, New Orleans must be back to normal, you know? I said, no ma'am, we're not back to normal. You gotta keep your hope though. Yeah, oh yeah.
She told us how well FEMA, or the
Federal Emergency Management Association,
was doing their job.
How do you think they're doing with their job?
Well, they're not acting fast enough. It's not just FEMA. I mean, it's the federal government, you know.
Ms. Laurie seemed to agree.
I'm not proud of FEMA because I feel like they're not doing enough work.
I mean, here it is 9 months, and supposedly they signed the bill today. You know, with the money, but how long it's going to take for us to get any of that money, that's the thing. You know, we don't know how long that's going to be.
You all drive around and you see many dump trucks. Do you see a lot of construction going on? You don't see that. You see people in trailers paying people to do different little things, but I mean, with devastation like that, you should have dump trucks.
Well, I mean, they don't have a clue as to what the situation is.
Why are we smelling trash from August? I mean, come on, why are we doing that?
In my area where I live, it's where I lived. It doesn't look much better than it looked when I was there at the end of September.
Where is FEMA?
While we were down there, everyone was so appreciative of the work we were doing. There was no bitterness anywhere. And although we weren't gutting houses or doing any of the heavier work, the locals appreciated any little thing we could do.
You all come out, I call you all angels. Every time I see a group, I say that's just another set of angels that God is using to help carry us through this. So it's you all. And there's thousands of you that keep coming and helping, and that's where the hope lies. Lord, somebody cares.
So, I bet you're wondering, how can I help New Orleans, or any place affected by Hurricanes Katrina, Rita, and Wilma? Well, of course you can come down for a service trip like we did, but it's not the easiest thing for everyone to do, and we realize that. You can always donate money. So many people, like Ms. Lori and Yvonne, have benefited from donations of Kind Americans. There are tons of nonprofit organizations that take donations for Katrina relief. Foundations for Recovery and Direct Relief International are just a couple of these organizations. Any little thing you can do is appreciated. When your donation dollars help do something like, say, repaint a house, it's just one less thing the New Orleans local that are trying to rebuild have to worry about. I think I can speak for everyone on our trip by saying that week was one of the most life-changing experiences we've ever had. We were shown a city of culture, devastation, and hope. We made some amazing friends. And we were inspired to tell everyone about this amazing city. So no, New Orleans is not back to normal. Not even close. But if we all help out, doing whatever we can, it's very hopeful that this city will return to glory.
Lights will guide